Guess I got to be on my best behavior.
What was that?
John, you guys still on archery season out there?
What's that?
You still in archery season out there?
Yeah, rifle doesn't start until like second week of October.
Uh,
I start Saturday here in Texas.
Rifle
what?
season?
No, archery.
Oh yeah.
Let's we start next Saturday. I think it's the third or fourth.
First year in six that I haven't been up in the mountains right now, guiding elk hunters. It's awful.
What, you didn't have anybody?
No, I got a new job because the rest of the year guiding fishermen was not worth it. So I had to go get a real job.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Where's everybody at?
We got
So what's that? I thought Waylon said something.
no. Well, I did. I was talking to my son.
Uh, have any
We're
of
at
you
the.
guys tried Iron Will broadheads?
I haven't.
They're made here in Colorado, aren't they?
I think they are. I just ordered. I just ordered some.
What'd you get?
I don't know. I have to look.
Are they the like single bevels?
I think so. Let me pull up my order. Maybe. There it is. It's the S series.
So
I see here.
oh yeah, the single
I
bevels
don't
with
think it's
the
the same.
no, it's not single bevels, but they got the little bleeders on them.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. They're getting good reviews.
I've heard good things. I've seen good things from them. So if you can kill
So
an
you
elk, you
give them
can
a
kill a
try.
whitetail.
If they ever ship. Who are we waiting?
I don't know, but I may have to move. I got that staring at me.
That's a good sight. Get closer to it.
He's close enough right now. Get away.
Give it a good slap there, Waylon.
Yeah, we're at the arena right now. Everybody's riding.
What do you have going on?
Oh, my wife, every Thursday we come up to an arena, practice roping and stuff.
She
And
rope?
well, me and my son do. But she actually had her horse, took him to a chiropractor. And I will admit it was pretty amazing watching that guy. But she wanted to ride up here tonight just to see if it helped him out.
Did it?
I don't know.
Hey, there's the man.
They just took off.
Uh,
What's up, Sam?
What's going on?
did it?
How y'all
Nada.
doing?
No,
Hey, there's the man.
They just took off. What's up, Sam?
What's happening? What's going on? Sorry, I'm a little late.
Did it?
Nada.
Nothing. Waylon was just showing us his horse's booty.
I'm moving.
Todd's gonna be on later. He said this was the one Thursday on the schedule that he had one of his football games conflicting, so he said when he gets home he'll hop on. But
He needs to get his priorities straight.
he was pretty bummed, I will say.
I was telling these guys I ordered a set of those iron wheels,
Yeah,
broadheads, so give those a try this year.
awesome.
They kill elk. Should work on the deer.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. All the reviews, they're hammering the elk.
These things work.
That's good.
Assuming you can hit them. But that's
Yeah, that's
neither
the
here nor
problem.
there.
That's the problem.
John, you got any hunts coming up in anytime soon or no?
I got nothing.
Really?
I don't think I'm even going to be able to get time to do third rifle this year.
Really?
Yeah. So I have my other computer behind this one. I'm looking at a gun broker auction for a 22 that's from 1944. So I can go hunt rabbits with something old school.
Nice.
Good old fashioned 22. That'll be fun.
Man, I haven't hunted rabbits since like college. Me and my buddies would go out every day after, or like every Friday evening, Saturday evening during October, November in college, go shoot rabbits and then eat rabbit stew all weekend. And I haven't done that since I graduated 10 years ago. Ooh,
Graduated college 10 years ago.
yeah.
Jesus, I feel old.
Sorry. So do I.
I graduated in 07.
I just had my 40th high school reunion.
Okay, I don't feel so old.
Yeah, don't.
You don't look a day over 90, Waylon. Probably still run circles around me.
I don't know about circles, but I try as hard as I can anyway. Getting close to retirement. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Good for you.
Do what?
I said, good for you. I'm down to
Oh,
single
yeah.
digits. I got 8 more years.
I don't think I'll last that long.
8 more years to my minimum, then get out of that and go do something different.
Not me. I'm sitting on a front porch drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes.
It does. I might not even make it till retirement. Mike, you shoot anything the other night?
What's that?
Did you shoot anything the other night?
We went on Friday night, me and Lawson, and we ended up getting 2 of them. Found one of them, coyotes. So it was a good time. The other one was hit, but it was kind of far away, and it might have ran off. So
I would have posted pictures of the one that we found, but it wasn't quite any kind of G rated. It might have got a major headache.
No,
I would still
I-
posted it.
I sent them in as content. Yeah, and Bob was like, "Those are great pictures," and then he was like, "But the last one," he's like, "We might not be able to post that." And I was like, "That's what I figured."
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Whole top of the head of the coyote's gone, and it's got like one leg, and it looks like it got hit by a truck. That's what happens when you have 4 guys shooting in one dog. It's like,
You'll have to send it to me.
yeah, I will. I'll send it in the group message. It's funny, man. I went there, like, go down and grab it. I said, all right. So I grabbed the drag off of Lawson, and I go get it. I'm like, there's nothing left. They were like, you picking up pieces or what? What's taking you so long? I was trying to find it, piece it back together.
I got a
That was a
real
good time,
big
though.
bobcat on my camera the other day. First bobcat I've ever had seen on my cameras.
They're like the easiest prey to call in if you ever want to kill it.
Bobcat?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, in PA, if you have bobcat, it's $6, I think. Pay your $6 for your bobcat tag, and literally, if you go in the area of any kind of mouse or any prey, it'll run you right over.
I got my bob. So there's a season. It's just short season for it. I think it's
Yeah,
only
it
like a
comes.
month, a couple weeks or something like that.
I forget when it comes in. It's like maybe January, like right after January or something.
Yeah, it comes in at sometime in January.
I think this is my 4th year pretty heavy in the prey hunting. And my first year, I think we killed like 7 in West Virginia that first year. They were just everywhere.
You guys have a season down there for them?
Yeah, but it comes in. It comes in when trapping comes in. You can kill 3 a year in West Virginia. So I think it's like mid-November to the end of February, something like that. I mean, don't quote me, but you just got to have your fur takers, and it's easy. It's a lot easier than a lot of the states.
Yeah.
So you said $6 for a tag. Is that just a license to be able to hunt them, or is that just for one cat?
It's for one cat. It's like additional. So in PA as a non-resident, you buy your license, and then you have to have fur takers license, which is like $80. But then to add on for bobcats, a bobcat kill permit's all it is. It's like $6.
Man, that's so foreign to me. In
Listen,
Texas, you
I
just
came from
shoot them.
I came from Arkansas, and when I moved up here, man, I had all kinds of trouble because in my opinion, the laws that are in West Virginia and PA are just meant for you to mess up. I mean, it's so hard. You got to have a tag for every little thing. I was just so used to. You go to Walmart, you buy your hunting license. That's it for the whole year. It don't matter what you're hunting. You got everything. You know what I mean?
Not in PA.
Not in PA, not in West Virginia, not in Ohio. I mean, you got to buy every damn tag there is.
Yeah, they're starting to catch up a little bit, but you'll never see it like some of these states.
No, I mean, I was surprised to see the Sunday deal. I mean, that's huge for a lot of guys.
Yeah, that's huge.
I mean, when it started out, it was. I mean, you can. I'm not all up to it. I've kind of not educated myself, but when it started out, it was like 5 or 8 Sundays, and now a guy told me that it's every Sunday of the season now.
It was 4 Sundays there for a couple years. Now I think like this year it's every Sunday except for like after the last Saturday of rifle.
Right.
So
That opens up a lot for the guys. I mean, I know like whenever I was working, 6, 7 days a week, it sucked. And Sunday's the only day I had off, and PA's the only place I had a tag left.
yep. Yeah, that's my off days were Sunday, Mondays. So one
But
day out of that I couldn't spend.
Right, PA's still under what do they call it, the blue law. I mean, you can't even go buy a vehicle in PA on a Sunday.
No, they're always closed.
Yeah. To each their own, I guess. People should just catch up with the South, Sam.
Yeah, no joke, man.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what kind of other stuff you tack on, like if you just go for your like deer and turkey tags, I don't remember what it is. I think it's like 25 or 30 bucks. Like the bare minimum that you for a resident would have to spend is 25, 30 bucks.
Right.
And that's just for your tags. Like you get 5 whitetail tags, you get a couple mule deer tags, you get 4 turkey tags with that.
That's
Now,
crazy.
like if you dove hunt, if you duck hunt, you got to have some stamps added for that, which is, I mean, they're nickel and diming you on that. If you archery hunt, that's an extra $7. And then I think if you're over a certain age, like 55 or 60 or something, you get it's cheaper than that. And I didn't know it until we started having some people come out here that were non-residents to deer hunt and everything that, I mean, they still pay, I don't know what it is now. In 2019, it was like $300, but they got the exact same license that the residents get as far as all those tags, the deer and the turkey tags. So
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I feel like it should just be laid out, flat board. You pay for it, this is what you get. I mean, even for us in West Virginia, when we go buy our sportsman's package, it's like $34, and that'll give you a tag for every season there is. So archery, muzzleloader, rifle, fall turkey, spring turkey, but that only gives you one tag. If you want to be able to kill your full bag limit, you got to buy additional tags for all those extra animals.
yeah. Cass, when you came down for the turkey hunt, were you able to just buy a turkey tags or did you have deer tags on that thing too?
No, I didn't have turkey tags being in the spring. It was a spring. I thought it was a spring season turkey tag.
That's what I thought they
I
offered
want to
at
say
that
it was
point.
like
I didn't know if they made you pay for the whole deal.
No, it was just a spring turkey is all it was.
Okay.
Well, and it was kind of consumed as your general license too, I guess, which covered the hogs and everything else. But I want to say it was only like $130.
Yeah.
Does Texas do a deal where you can do like a 5 day license?
Yeah, so they'll do a 5-day license for non-residents, like if you wanted to come down and hunt like either with an outfitter or on public land for just like if you're hunting hogs or predators or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what we learned when Todd came down a couple years ago in the summer for a hog hunt, because he was looking at that 5-day pass, and I dug deep into it and found out that for hogs and like coyotes, predators, if you're a non-resident and you're coming down to hunt with a private landowner on private land, or that's what it is, on private land with landowner permission, and you're not hunting any deer, turkey, you're just hunting, invasive species, you
Yep.
don't have to be a licensed hunter in the state of Texas.
Yep.
As long as
Oh, it
there's
wasn't
not a
Oklahoma.
big game, as long as there's not another big game season, right?
I'd have to double check on that. I don't know if there's a season if you have to be licensed, but the way I understood it at the time was if he was just hunting pigs and coyotes on private land with me and had permission to be there, which obviously he did,
Right.
that he didn't have to be licensed and everything. And like
That's the way
he
it
flew
should be
back
with
to
stuff
Michigan
like
with the
that.
meat and everything, and
No
he
questions
got him the
asked.
documentation and everything he needed just from me, just the signed documentation on, hey, he came down here. this was the deal. He's taken this meat back with permission and stuff, and there weren't any issues when he got checked. So
I guess after this broadcast, you may have a different opinion depending on who comes knocking on your door.
yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
gonna
over
have
7 years
DNR.
ago that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I know there's a lot
There's
of
gotta be a
coyotes
statute
down
of
there, and I
limitations
mean,
at that point.
airfare is not too bad price to Texas, Sam.
Oh yeah, there's cheap flights all the time, you know. Just
And
depends on
I'm about to be after Tuesday. I'm gonna be laid up for like 3 months. I might be itching to do something.
What's
I
happening Tuesday?
Well, I was as they say, play stupid games and you win stupid prizes. I was making kindling for my barbecue smoker. I got a barbecue business up here, and I got my hatchet stuck in a piece of wood, and I hit it on the ground like twice, and it was in a knot. And the third time, it kinked sideways, and I hit myself in the knee.
Oh,
So I thought I'd just split my knee open. So I just laid it across the 5-gallon bucket and got the dog stitches out that I carry and stitched it up in the driveway. And like a week later, I was like, man, I can't climb because I worked as a lineman, so I couldn't like climb anything. And so I went to the doctor and told him what happened, and they like expedited everything, got me an MRI, and it turns out I chopped 80% of my quadricep tendon in two.
oh my gosh, dude.
So I'm going down under the knife on Tuesday morning at some point.
Oof.
God,
Do you have any pictures?
What's that?
Anthony's like, let me see it.
He's
You
all
know,
up close to the camera now.
Yeah,
Pictures
so
or it never happened, buddy.
I'll send you a video of me stitching it in the driveway. It was pretty comical. I went to the doctor the 15th, and he was like, "I want to do surgery next week," and I said, "It's not an option." He's like, "Well, you're a walking time bomb." He said, "You only got 20% holding your whole knee." He said, "If it breaks, you're not going to be able to walk." I said, "Well, give me a brace." I said, "I got a bear hunt on the 27th, 28th, and I'm not missing it."
That's what it be.
So I'm going to my pre-op surgery appointment in the morning, getting all the do's and don'ts, and I'm hitting the road headed to bear hunting.
Well, hopefully you got help to pack a bear out.
I told him he better get his buggy real close. So we'll see how that
sucks,
goes.
man. Be hoping for a speedy recovery for you.
Yeah, I'm not much of a sit around and wait at home type guy. So I'm not even stressing about not working. I'm stressing about being stuck at home.
Yeah. I hear you.
On that.
Looks like you got a babysit, Mike.
yeah. I'll have to carry his gun and push him in the wheelchair.
Get him one of those rascal scooters.
Yeah.
We was coyote hunting one night after I did it, and I've been wearing a brace every time I go out because I don't want to hurt nothing for that bear hunt. And another friend of ours says, I see you as an older friend that's in a wheelchair. I said, yeah, but it'll be a badass wheelchair.
Yeah, we said we're going to take a side by side and put a pulley up in the tree, and then pull him by his belt loop up into the stand so he can hunt. And then when he's done, we'll lower him back down. It'd be pretty cool.
Get fluorescent lights for his wheelchair. Or we'll just put glow sticks all over it.
That's it.
There you go, Anthony. You got the video of sitting on the 5-gallon bucket with my neighbor. Put my coon light on, and so she could see to stitch it up.
Oh yeah, did your neighbor do it? I thought you did it.
I couldn't get the bottom 3.
Oh.
I'm not super flexible, so I called my wife. She's a nurse, and I was like, "Hey, I need your help." She's like, "Hey, I'm working." So she's like, "Ask the neighbor to come up." She came up, put the coon light on, and there we went.
Aggressive.
Nothing says West Virginia like that, right?
No, there's some other stuff that says West Virginia, but you have to keep that kind of PG right now.
Hey,
Never a
man, you
dull
bury a
moment.
hatchet in your knee, and your wife's just like, figure it out.
Yeah. So I told her, I was like, "Hey," I said, I got pretty good cut. And she said, as long as it wasn't the kids, she said, you'll figure it out.
Are you married? Good.
Huh?
Who was that?
I have no idea.
I think it was Kess. He's
Oh.
frozen.
Yeah, he froze.
Oh, that's a perfect picture of him too.
Too late now. Yeah, he gone.
They take a screenshot of that face.
Maybe he's on
I
his
could do amazing
laptop
things
again.
up with that.
Terry, what's new in your world, man?
Getting ready for next weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get my first archery buck.
Heck yeah.
I've
Got
just
See,
been
you
a
got-
little lazy,
showing
been
up.
a little lazy and too selective.
Let her rip, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
here, man. I'm excited.
Priorities are
First
different
one.
next weekend.
Hey, just from a tracker standpoint, don't do what everybody else does and shoot them in the shoulder.
Nah, I'm taking the legs out. Trust me, I got experience on that.
I tell everybody, I said, put it in the middle of the body and go home, eat breakfast, and come home and find a dead deer.
You ain't got legs, you ain't moving. That's my philosophy.
Michael, your season opens
I
tomorrow
have
or
to watch it.
tomorrow or Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah,
Yep.
same for us.
Yeah, we'll be Saturday, and I think Anthony said PA starts next Saturday, I think, right? Is that what it is?
We start. Ours is the 4th.
I remember, I think it was
Yeah.
last year. I think Ohio, PA, and West Virginia all started on the same day. I don't know why they did away with that. That was pretty cool. I like that. So
Yeah, we're that first Saturday in October. That's the 4th.
okay, yeah.
Did they do away with the 2-week season and they close it again, or is it steady open?
I think it
For
runs
what?
till
2 week season for
November.
what? For rifle?
Well, it seemed like when I first started hunting PA, it was like it would come in for like say a month, and then it closed for a couple weeks or something.
Yeah, so it'll come in until probably the second week of
November.
November.
Yeah.
And then it'll go out for a week or two, and then you have bear season in there, rifle. And then you go into that first Saturday starts your 2 weeks of rifle.
Gotcha.
But now you can hunt doe all 2 weeks instead of just the last week. I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it. But like after the second week of archery season, they bring muzzleloader season in.
Yeah, it was always just it was like a guessing game when I would go out trying to. I'd be headed to the stand in PA and be looking on my phone, making sure it's even still season.
Yeah, like they were messing around like bear rifle season was like Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then it would go out Thursday, Friday, and then it would come back in the following Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for rifle again. It was just, I think they got rid of that for the most part. Some areas are still that way, but seasons have been weird lately.
Yeah, I know. I had a little trouble whenever I first moved up here because West Virginia has landowners, and PA does as well. But there's a lot of guidelines to that PA landowners.
Yeah,
And shame on me for not getting fully educated, but I wound up losing the first buck I killed in PA because I thought I was under landowners. The first house I bought, I had 13 acres, and wind up getting in a little bit of trouble over it.
No, I think you got to get special tags for that.
Landowner, and in PA, landowner, you got to have a minimum of 60 acres, and you have to use it for a cash crop, basically.
Yeah.
And if you want to use landowner tags, like to actual tag a buck, you have to open your land up to public hunting.
Yeah, but you're the only one allowed to tag that deer, not anyone else that shoots it.
Right.
So
yeah, there's so many ins and outs. In West Virginia, I think you own it's not much land at all. I mean, it might be 5 acres or less. You have landowner tags as long as you live. You never have to buy a hunting license.
PA just wants their money, and the best way that they can do that is let the game wardens fine you because their laws are all weird.
Oh yeah, I mean my buck cost me $3,500.
Yeah, they're not they're not scarce on handing out tickets.
No, 3,500. Then they actually took my license for 3 years. Even I was completely like upfront honest with them. I was like, look, I just made a mistake. I went and bought my license, tagged the deer, never hunted again. Like I tried to make it right, but since I started off on the wrong foot, they grilled me pretty good.
Damn.
They grilled my one buddy because he was walking out of the woods. He was on the road and didn't have his orange on.
Yeah.
And obviously, whenever you're walking out of the woods at dark, your gun's supposed to be unloaded to begin with. And they ended up fining him close to $300 just for that alone.
Yeah, there's definitely some easy ways to get in trouble there if you don't know everything. I mean, the old man that I lived next to, when I told him about me getting in trouble because I hunted on his place too, and he said, "Hey, you gonna hunt next year?" I said, "Well, you won't see me for 3 years." I said, "I can't hunt." The only state that I called every general game warden in each state that I hunted to see, if they were gonna accept the repercussions or whatever. And West Virginia's the only place that let me hunt. But that old man told me when he was like 19 or 20, he got a ticket for shooting a deer when they were doing a drive on the way out of this. They were walking out on the drive and he shot the deer on the way out. And he got a ticket for that. When he went to go fight it, they told him that if he would have got out of his truck and was headed to the woods to hunt, it wouldn't have been a fine. But since he was walking out, it was a fine.
Nah, he had a an asshole game warden then. Pardon my French, but
yeah, it was like
something
about degressing or egressing. If he was headed to hunt, he wouldn't have got a fine, but it headed out of the hunt, it was just he must have been in the wrong place, wrong time, wrong guy. You know what I mean? I just couldn't believe that they would just grill him like that.
Technically, you're not out of the hunt until you reach, what is it, 30, 35 yards or something like that from the road.
Right.
30 some feet, I think, from the road. It's something like that. I'd have to look it up to be exact, but
he'd probably still be confused.
Like we used to all the time. We used to, on the way to driving, we'd be in the truck and see deer cutting across a field. So we'd jump out of the truck, get off the road, the amount of spot time that we had or distance, and we'd load up and open up. Nobody ever said anything about that.
Yeah, he just must have been the wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah, you get a couple out there that are just out to make a name for themselves and find you.
The old power trip.
Yep. You should see what happens if you shoot a bear here in PA. Especially during archery season.
Really?
During archery season, if you shoot a bear, they want to go out, see the gut pile, see where you shot it. They'll take soil samples just to make sure that you weren't baiting.
Well, that's what whenever I got my fine, it was almost a year to the date. and they started explaining to me all this because I had a deer feeder in my backyard for the kids to watch deer, and they started explaining all these rules. They're like, listen, he said, if you're within, he basically told me, he said, if I can walk from a feeder and walk a solid game trail to where you're setting on a camera, he's like, or a stand, he said, I could technically get you for hunting over bait, even though you're not putting it out. If your neighbor's an old man and puts bird seed out every morning, if you're hunting a trail that's leading straight from there, he said, I can get you for hunting over bait. I said, that's how does that work? But he tried to claim, swear up and down, that's how it worked.
Yeah, so if they see a bait pile during seasons, they'll shut down the whole area for hunting. It's like what is it, like somewhere around a 300 300-yard diameter
Yeah.
that they'll shut down that whole area for hunting. You get caught in there, then they'll still nail you for baiting and stuff. Yeah,
it's wild.
And you don't know.
No.
Like you won't know, and then all of a sudden a game ward's going to come up on you and be like, "Yeah, this place shut down for baiting," and then they'll fine you for it.
Yeah, it's a money gimmick. There's no doubt. I was just glad they took my mount and everything. It was the first deer I killed on my own property. I owned up here, and I tried to buy it back, and they kept it, but they didn't take my guns or nothing. You know what I mean? But it was a if I would have worked one more 16-hour shift, they couldn't have done nothing about it.
Wow.
There was a guy my uncle knew who shot a bear during rifle season, and they had it tagged. They had a tracker on it,
Yeah.
and when they pulled the GPS coordinates, he was like 30 yards away from its denning area. They gave him a $5,000 fine and took his license away from him. So he said he was too close to the denning area.
How was he supposed to know?
How are you supposed to know? The bear come walking down through the woods, and he cracked it.
Yeah, from what I've been told, sometimes a bear won't even den up. They just find a good spot on the hillside, and that's where they'll lay up.
They said if they stop for a prolonged period of time, no matter where it's at, that's considered a denning area.
That's wild.
I'd have fought that one in court.
Yeah, I don't know if last I heard was they took his license, $5,000 fine. I think he took his license for like 3 years, something like that.
That's the maximum they can take it without being a like a felony charge, because that's what they took mine for, was 3 years.
Yeah, come to PA, guys. It's fun.
I highly recommend the turkey and deer, but I was really going to try some bear hunting this year, but I think I'm backing out on you, buddy.
I mean, you come up, we'll go. Come on up. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll
just take an extra $5,000 before you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to work for 3 months. I'll have $5,000 laying around. No big deal.
Yeah,
I'll bail you out. I know people.
Lawson shoots a bear and turns around and Anthony's gone.
Yeah. Yep. You know this guy? Nope.
I ain't never even seen him. I don't even know why he's here.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture too, Anthony. I don't know if you got it or not.
Yeah, I got seen something popped up.
Okay.
Terry, do you still have those elk showing up on camera?
Every other day.
Dude, that bull is a stud.
I know. If I ever win that lottery ticket, man, I'm set.
You draw that tag, let me know. I'll come bugle him in for you.
If I draw that tag, I will need some people to kind of help me a little bit there. So
Yeah, you got it.
That's a giant bull.
yeah, there was one bigger last year than that. So he was an absolute monster. But after next weekend, they'll clear out. Once their rut is over, they push out.
Really?
Where are you located at, Terry?
That property's in Virginia.
Is that any of the elks that's got pushed out of like the Kentucky area?
No, these are all those that they brought in for that elk management over there in Virginia, and they just kind of migrate around to everybody's property.
Yeah, when I worked pipeline for right at 12 years, and I was actually part of dealing with some of that stuff for Range Resources when they brought in the elk in Kentucky.
Yeah,
Range actually paid for quite a bit of that.
I was bow hunting last year and had a 6x6 walk 20 yards in front of me.
You're a good man.
And I literally just wiped tears and watched him walk for 200 yards.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a giant bull.
You know, when you see them on picture, when it doesn't even come close to when you get to see one up in person, just the enormous size of these things.
I would just like to. I don't know. I didn't even know you guys had elk down there in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Southern part?
It's like the southwestern part of Virginia.
Yeah. You guys have draw down there.
Yeah, 5 tickets a year.
Oh,
That's all that
Is
they
it-
put out is 5.
Random lottery.
Random lottery.
Well, that's a 50 plus preference point.
I want to say last year it was like, don't hold me to this, 600, 800,000 off of the lottery sales. A lot of people put in for that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Is it a bigger herd or is this smaller herd?
Oh, they're populating really, really good.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I think this year, I've saw probably 10 to 12 smaller elk. So their herd is really, really healthy right now.
Good.
Heck yeah.
While I'm hunting next weekend, if I have one walk out, I'll make sure to take some good video
Yeah.
because that's about all
Yeah.
it'll see is a camera.
maybe some camera and some tears.
Yeah. Or if I threw my leg at it, what it would do.
Terry, try to pet it.
Is that considered a deadly weapon?
Self-defense,
GA
buddy.
it might.
Yeah.
Get down and try to pet it.
Listen, I'm almost 50 fat and I got 2 fake legs. There's no way I'm outrunning any type of game.
Oh hell.
It'd be a good show.
It'd definitely be a good show. That's about it.
Anthony, you're not in the area where they get the early bow season there in PA?
No. No, that's usually the city limits. Like I think like out near Philly they do that. And then
They did one close to Washington because my buddy killed his target buck on opening afternoon.
yeah, Allegheny County, certain areas in Allegheny County does it. But no, they don't do it around. We don't have that.
Ryan, how long till you're chasing that big boy?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
No, our season starts the 1st up here, so 4 days and a wake up, something like that.
It's going to be so hard to pass that buck up if it comes walking past my stand.
Just make sure that you do.
Oh, I will.
I'll never be invited back.
That's worth never receiving an invitation back. I hate to be that guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guess is like, I'll destroy a friendship over it.
Listen, I got kicked out already anyway. It's okay.
Hey, you didn't get kicked out. That's for sure. You can blame Todd and Anthony because they conspired against you.
Whoa! I
Todd
just
and
said
I
I can
spent
make
all
either
last
or.
weekend together talking about it.
What's that?
I said I was with Todd all weekend last weekend, and I gave him all kinds of crap about it.
Well,
He was like, "I know I got chosen for you. I'm sorry."
he was like, you told him that there was a November date, and he was like, well, we'll do it, the last couple days in October and the first couple days in November. That way he has all November for the wedding. And then
Yeah.
it's the first couple days of November. So
Yep.
I felt bad. There's always
No, it's
next
all right.
year. I mean,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I don't even know. I mean, I don't mind who comes. I try to change it up, but whatever. I like to keep some of the guys that come because they can get to know the layout better when we actually put better hunts together and do things instead of just kind of popping up and saying, all right, here I am. But he's going to be hard to hunt. There's two big ones there, that big 8. And then there's the one with the kicker that Anthony's in love with. And then there's the big 11-12 or whatever. But
What does that buck score?
I won't know until I got him on the ground.
Just
He's big.
eyeball guess.
I think
Ballpark it.
I was looking at it. You're probably looking at high 170s, 180s. I would
I was gonna
think.
say that seems like I don't judge whitetails. I don't have them here, so I can't
Yeah.
tell you. But I was like, dang, that is a big buck.
I'm gonna go net on that. My guess is he's gonna be over 190 gross.
You think so?
I think so.
So
I'm just being conservative.
I killed his father last year. That was his dad, the one I have in the other room, the other 11, because they have these the tines aren't super tall. They're like these super wide, but they're super symmetrical. And I knew, like, you could just tell that was his offspring. I was like, because no other deer have that type of rack. You know what I mean? They're just, it's just the way it flows. But he popped up last year. After I had taken the other buck, Floppy, we called him, because he had one ear that was all screwy. But he showed up probably 5 days after I took his dad. So I don't know if taking the old buck out of the region there kind of like made room for these other bucks to mingle over. But then he just started showing up all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. And then right as gun season hit, it was like he kind of went ghost. And then we had so much snow, there was nothing I could really do about it. I got in there like twice to be able to hunt. I mean, we had like 5 feet in one day, and it was just too much to do anything. And then he showed up the last day of muzzleloader season and spent about an hour in front of my tree stand with like 8 other does. They were all eating these bushes and everything, and I was like, I can't even get out there. I mean, they were trying to get through the snow, and in the pictures it was like past their brisket, you can just see. But so I had a good time watching them. But I've been following them. I I'm having a hard time with this deer though, because I'll tell you this, my buddy and myself, on this property, the one that you guys come to hunt at, I have 22 cameras on there. He put out 14. We have 34 cameras on 150 acres. And he has not got that buck on one of his cameras at all. Not a one. I've only caught this buck on 2 cameras. He is so streamlined that he doesn't deviate from anything. And I'm catching him in front of this one, the videos where you're getting and seeing him, that's in front of one tree stand. And behind that property, so when you look at them photos, like the camera's facing him, to my left would be the tree stand, to the bottom would be the creek bottom, and it's like a little pinch, and there's a cornfield up there. And then in front of it, like if you're looking straight past him, the road is like 200 yards that way.
Yes, that's where you hunted last year.
Yeah.
Right. So in that back corner kind of. And then
I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah. So it was just, I'm like, okay, where is he betting? So the only thing I can really put together is he's bedding in the corn next to the guy's house, literally like probably a stone's throw from the guy's house, or there's like a 6-acre section that I don't have permission to hunt. Like I have everybody else's. I have across the road. I have 4 homeowners here. I have our 150 leased. I have the guy from PA on the other side. I have so many except this, like I'm gonna say 5 to 7 acres that this guy owns. And that's the only place that I can figure out that he's living most of the year because I'm not even finding his rubs. Like we've walked across the street. I've walked 300 acres across the street, plus my 150, plus the 80 next door. And I found rubs, but a deer that caliber is just has to make a bigger rub because its rack is so big. So it's going to be bigger trees. And I have yet to even find that. So I've narrowed it down to like 2 places that he could be bedding and 2 places that I don't have permission, but it's just going to be a waiting game. But the only tactic that I have for this deer, because I know I've learned one thing: these big super giant bucks, they don't go after does. And you're going to hear that from me first. You're going to be like, what do you mean? I'm a firm believer that the does seek them out because they are the man. They are the giant. They are the ones that don't need to leave, and the does seek them out because I started noticing that like with his dad that I killed. He wasn't even running around chasing does. He was in this core locked area, and like all the does would migrate over there. They would just go like to his area. And then same thing last year, like when this buck showed up during muzzleloader, there was 8 does with him. And I'm like, he's not going anywhere. He's not on none of my cameras. I'm not catching him on travel routes, creek bottoms, nowhere. I'm like, he's just living there and they're coming to him. That's the only thing that I can fathom. That it's the only thing that would make sense because he's even at nighttime, I'm barely catching him on camera at nighttime. It's like it's so baffling in a sense because you're like, how is he getting in and out? And the only place, and the actual only place that I'm believing he's walking is directly in the water. If he is walking the creek bottom itself to traverse the 1.5 miles across the property, that would be his only, like, I should be catching him on other cameras. I mean, I've even moved him. I was like, okay, he's not here, go over here. Leave it like 3 weeks, I'm not catching him, go over here. And I started doing all this crazy stuff, and it started to drive me crazy until I started looking at the map and pinpointing. I'm like, all right, he can only be here, here, and here. He shows up here and he shows up here, and that's it. So it's like I'm not going to go anywhere else to hunt him except these two stand possibilities. And
You ever think about putting a camera on that creek bed? See if he does that.
So I have one cam on the creek bed way toward the other side in the bottom, but I don't have one toward his bedding area. And it's kind of hard because there's a lot of fallen trees across the creek. So it's like, even if he is walking that creek bottom directly in the water, I don't know if he would, it just seems unfeasible. Like he would be ducking under with that big rack because there's big trees. I mean, big trees that are laying across that creek.
What about the possibility of him coming across the highway?
So that was another thought. He may be on the other side of the highway, bedded up where you can't hunt, and then coming across to our corn and our food plots.
You'd still catch him on all your other cameras working towards that far side corner, though, on the opposite side of the highway.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. So I'm like, how is that? And I can't really put it together. So the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to revert to my trail camera data. So all this data that I have saved up in my Tacticam, all 900 buck photos over the last 3 years, it gives me a breakdown on either when he showed up or the big boys showed up or anything like that. And I'm going to use the moon because it'll give me a breakdown in the Tacticam. Like say like waxing gibbous in first quarter, it'll say you have 300 buck photos during this moon phase. and other moon phases are very minimal. So, and then it'll tell me, you know, your most bucks that you tagged were on a northeast wind or on a southeast wind, or, you know, it's all correlating data. So I'm going to try to put all that together and hunt the days that either correlate to those statistics, so I have a better chance of him showing up. And it's really hard to put that together because I don't have another way to figure it out. Like, I don't have as much scouting as I've done. He really is a ghost. I just feel like I'm baffled. I mean, I've hunted all kinds of whitetail all over the place, and this guy he's different. He's really different. Like, at least his dad kind of like would show up randomly. He would show up on this camera and then show up on that camera. And Mike Teepee I was talking with him last year, and he was like, yeah, I did the same thing with my buck. Like, I'd be in the stand, I'd look at my phone, and he's at my other stand, you know? So then then you're playing like tiddlywinks with him. You know what I mean? Like, okay, he's going to show up here, so I'm going to go there, or then I'm going to go here. And then it just,
you were all over the place with that one last year.
Yeah, it was a culmination, and I got lucky, actually, you know, but the camera helped me seal that deal. A lot of guys don't like cameras. I would have never known that they were. What's up?
Oh, sorry, you froze there. I didn't know you were still talking. Michael, you're going up, right?
What's that?
You're going up with us to New York, right?
Oh yeah, I'm coming. Yep.
Yeah, wait till you see this data that he has and how
I seen he had it posted on Facebook, and I was reading through it. That's really cool what those cameras can do. I really like that Tacticam.
Yeah, so I always tag my bucks. So as long as it's like a shooter buck or a good buck, I tag it. And then when you go to lay out your statistics through your camera, it gives you a breakdown, like the moon, the wind, and then you can start to say, all right, let's narrow this down to certain days that I really want to put in the time. You know what I mean? Because let's face it, sitting there all the time, you're just going to pull your hair out. Like, I'm no better than any one of you guys. But at the same time, it's like, I'm just trying to not spook this deer. I mean, that big 8-point, like, he's starting to get like that. He's actually, I can't figure out where he's bedding. I have him in daylight on one camera too, in the 5 acres past the farm that I acquired at the end of last year. And he kind of just roams over there, and then he comes to our cell phone tower, because we have a cell phone tower on the property, and he crosses like right by it. Like, I just got a video of him last night, and I was going to share that with Sam anyway, but I don't know if they're just bedding in the corn, like, hey, here I am, like, lollygagging in the corn in the 40 acres, or because I've got cameras all the way around it, and it's so hard. I cannot figure out how they're getting from one side of the farm to the other without passing 34 cameras. And the only way that they can do that is through the corn, because I mean, but even at the edges and the sides and trails and the outlets, I have cameras, and it's like, I don't know. And then he'll just show up. Bam. There he is. I'm like, oh, well, how did you get there? How did you get... It'll drive you crazy. But next year, I think I talked to the farmer. This may be good. Next year, they're going to plant soybeans, I think. Because he does like a 4-year corn and then like a 1 or 2 year soybean type of thing.
We have to alternate the crops. Yeah.
Yeah, and if he does it, that's what he said he was looking at doing. But if he does soybean, the year he did soybean, there was so many bucks that came from everywhere. Like,
they tear that soybean up.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a couple like 160s, 170s. There was one, I'm going to tell you, that might have been a New York record. I'm going to say he was over 200, because I sat, you know how you come into the tower, there's like a road, Anthony and Kess, like we got the gravel road where we parked. So I would sit up there and I would glass, because it was all soybean, and they were coming out of the left-hand corner. And that's probably a good 300 to the back, maybe 4, at least 3. And when he came out, this buck, he was a non-typical. He was 16, but he was so high. He was probably 2 foot at least off of his head when he came out of the timber. And like I could tell that his rack from the base to the tip was as wide as this water bottle all the way. And I was just like, oh my God. It was just, he was astronomically huge. But no, I never heard anybody killing him. I never heard, not a peep. So he might have died of old age because that was, I think, 4 years now since soybeans. But them soybeans bring them across the I-90. They bring them from all over the place because usually they're just used to corn and grapes and not a lot of soybean is being planted. So when we get 40 acres of soybean, it's like they're there.
At my uncle's, that's where I shot most of my bigger buck, was the years he planted soybean.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still learning like everybody else. I've been doing this a long time, just like all you guys, but I think I just have good genetics in the area. New York is a sleeper state. There's been a lot of big bucks taken out of New York in the
Ryan,
last.
we're live, so don't give that secret away.
Yeah, calm down. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't
And
tell
New
anybody
York
where.
sucks for whitetail hunting. It's just so everybody knows. Just
What?
for the record, for anybody watching,
Yeah, it's terrible.
All the deer you see shared, they're all coming from Ohio or Texas.
Yeah, I got a ranch down in Nantucket off the Illinois River.
Tag soup every year in New York. I never shoot a big one.
Well, I tell you, you could see them. Tag soup is another thing because I get to the point where I hold out, man, and I wait, and I'll pass up, I'll pass them up, and I'll pass them up, and I'm like, I know what I'm after, and then,
See, I did that last year, and I'm still kicking myself for doing it. If I see a buck that I consider worthy to myself, I don't care what anybody else thinks.
Yeah,
I'm taking it.
Do it.
Taking it because I did the same thing last year, and I'm still sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Well, that
Because
big
they come in, and then you'd see them leaving. Is the worst part. As they're leaving, they get bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger. And I'm like, well, I messed that one
Rear
up.
view, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like we kid around. Todd's not here, but Todd would have had that big 8 last year if he would have just listened to what I said.
Yeah.
And he just for some reason didn't go the extra 150 yards to that tree stand. I don't know what made him do that, but I said, go over there again because I knew that buck was coming out. I try to put the guys in a certain location, like, hey, I know they've been coming through within a couple days, blah, blah, blah. So he sat over there. I don't think he liked it next to the pond because you're kind of on the open. You're like right on the edge of the corn, but there's like a pond behind you. But he would keep popping out to the left, like 30 yards away. So that morning, I was like, Todd, you guys go to this side of the farm, go down there, and me and Kess will go to the other side, and we'll come in through the creek bottom and up the other way. And Kess went to his spot, I went to mine, and literally, I think it was like 5 after 7, maybe.
Yep.
Shooting time, definitely. And I get the phone goes off, ding, and I looked, and I was like, oh my God, there he is. Like, he's right there, and I'm waiting for Todd to text me. I'm waiting for the text. I'm like, what happened? Like, did you get him? Like, I'm texting Todd. I'm like, did you get him? He's
No,
like,
you're texting the whole group.
whoever. Because
My phone is just like vibrating in my chest. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I look at it and I see all these messages. Why didn't you shoot him? Is he down? Where's he at?
Yeah. He's like, what are you talking about?
He was like, I didn't go to that tree stand. I'm like, oh my God. You didn't.
And it was all downhill for Todd after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All downhill.
I think he felt bad in some type of way. Literally, because that one stand is probably only like 150 from the one he sat in, but it's on the opposite corner of the corn. So this buck was just coming down that corn lane, and he kept going straight off into the timber, and Todd couldn't even see him or get a shot or whatever. But so that's why I like cameras. A lot of guys don't use them, but like to me, it's just more intel. Like the more data I can get on these bucks, because if I didn't put one camera on any of my farms, I wouldn't know what was out there. I would just be hunting blindly. And there's nothing wrong with that because I did it for 25 years. But I think as technology evolves, we like to use these things so we have an idea. Like it becomes like an obsession, like a little bit of an addiction. Like, okay, I checked my phone this morning. Oh, he was out last night. And then I check it, put it in, and I collect the data, like with John, he goes elk hunting. He's out there in the bush. Now, like you, if I say I'm you, I would use cameras and I would say, okay, I'm gonna go to these units. I know where the bulls are, right? I gotta walk 5 miles to get there. So I'm going to set cameras 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of where I believe these draws come through, right? Now you've got that set up in 3 different sections. Say you're running 15 cams, right? That's cool. Now, instead of you having to walk 5 miles multiple different times in and out, you can wait till them phones start going off, sending you photos. And then they start coming through and you're like, okay, now I'm going to go hunt 3 days straight, get out there, do my thing. It downsizes the time that you have to spend. And that's why, because people ask me, why you run so many cameras? I'm like, well, I don't want to sit out there. I don't have the time to just sit out there. I put in all the work and it's like, I don't want to walk and do 5 miles like you. But I commend you for being able to do that too. So, I just think the intel's very good, but a lot of guys they don't like correlate it. Like you'll be using cams and then you get all these pictures and then you don't go back to the year before. Like Sam, like I was telling Sam, we had a conversation about the one buck. He kept having this big buck show up. And I was talking to him. We talked about moon phase. We talked about a bunch of things. I said, hey, listen, based on my data from what I've been paying attention to, you should go sit in that stand for the next 3 days straight or 2 days straight. And he's like, yeah, well, I might call. No, I can't call it. No, they won't let, maybe. And then he went back and forth. He's like, I got to go to work. I was like, all right, hey, I'm just trying to help based on some of the stuff that I've seen. That next morning, I got a text. Ding! My phone goes off. There he is, right in front of the stand. I was like, oh my God.
No, Ryan's New York data is applicable to Texas. So he was spot on.
Did you work that way for elk?
He was spot on.
Well, I
wish it worked like that.
I think it's a correlation. You ever notice that? Okay, do you guys hunt like, let's say 2 or 3 different properties, right? So I hunt a property 30 minutes away, and then the other property is another 30 minutes away. So they're like an hour apart. And I'll get trail cam photos on each property simultaneously. Bam, the deer are showing up at the food plots. And it's like, how does that happen? How do the deer an hour, 2 hours, a state, 3 states away, all simultaneously kind of just end up going to the food plots at the same times?
Global warming.
You would say that. No, but it's just correlating data. So I just started saying, hey, based on my data from what I'm seeing, this is when you should go over there and sit there. And I was just trying to help him out, And Sam was like, yeah. No, I got to go to work. I can't call in. So we're 0 for 2, really. I mean, Todd and Sam, we're 0 for 2 right now. So somebody's got to get something this year.
3rd time's a charm.
Oh, that's a fact for sure. I mean, I hope one of these guys see that 12 point and take all the pictures that they can.
Some baller footage.
Where he came in, where he left, how long he stayed there. Did he pee on a
trail?
Yeah. No, I'm just happy to have him on my farm. I'm humbled, because he's teaching me a lot. You see all these regular bucks and what they do and how they're on a rope all the time. They do the same things, same patterns, and you get used to it. And you get like, I don't know, lackadaisical. You get lazy. Like even Kess would be like, yo, I got this area, all these bucks come in, blah, blah, blah. And then comes time to hunt, bam, and they're gone. So it throws a wrench in your game. It's because we're used to seeing what they do all the time. But this one's teaching me some things, how he's moving, where he's moving. And I think it makes you a better hunter,
I've learned that hunting next to that standing corn will drive you insane.
Yes.
It's maybe 3 years now, at least 3, maybe 4, but I got permission to hunt a piece of property about 4 years ago, and I was walking in, had my climber on my back, and I jumped this 150-inch buck that I had no idea, and I hunted close to it, but I had no idea it was there. Well, I got obsessed with him. I mean, I ate tag soup for 3 years straight because I passed one morning. I passed two 140s just so I could see this buck, and every year he would get broken up or get in a fight, whatever happened. Well, by the third year, I kind of figured out where he went, but I couldn't get permission to hunt there. But I got permission to go glass, and he was living in the corn. He literally slept in the corn, ate the corn. Like I watched him as the farmer was picking corn. He would step out, the farmer would go through with his picker, and he would step back in the corn. I mean, he literally lived in the corn. The very next year, I was like, okay, I figured you out. I'm going to shoot you out of the cornfield because the guy finally gave me permission. He watched me come out there for like 6 months straight, just watching this deer, obsessing over him. And he's like, you know what? Come out here and bow hunt. I only gun hunt, so do what you want. I came out there and I'm like, where's your corn? He's like, oh, I didn't plant this year. The deer disappeared. I've never seen him again. Never. And I was like, that was the point I got so obsessed with my trail cameras, like you're talking. I like when I came home, I just wanted to sell everything. I was selling my bow. I was like, I'm done. I got to take a break. Then bow season came around. I'm like, okay, I'll hunt, but I don't run cameras. And I still put some cameras out. I'm not near. I try not to get near obsessed like that because I mean, I made it to a point where it wasn't even fun hunting. I mean, if I wasn't getting what I wanted to see, I would get so mad at it.
Yeah, I definitely see it's our property, it's our lease, so we have it for 20 years, that's
Right.
what we signed up for. So it was just like so we control it, we help the farmer, we know him, we do a lot. So at that point it's like you want to know what's there, you want to know what's coming through.
Absolutely.
So if it's somebody else's property, I'd be mad like, hey, I can't do this or I couldn't do that. But he lets us put food plots in like we did this year. The weird thing about this property, it has a lot of microclimates. It's so diverse. Like the back section has like this pasture, and then there's like a creek bottom below it, and there's acorns by the thruway. Like I shit you not, there's probably 5 different sections with acorns. And I mean, just there would be like 20 trees of acorns. And then there's an old section of grapes that run off the back of the corn that run to these hill bottoms on this guy's property. And then then there's these super thickets on the other side where briars that you can't even get through. It's really diverse. Like it's like almost every stand you go to, unless you're right along the corn over there. But like you go to so many different stands and it's like, oh my God, I'm like in a whole different environment over here. Like it's so weird. It's very diverse, and I think that's what the deer like. But yeah, I get where you're coming from because you can be obsessed. I don't try to be obsessed. I try to get smarter.
And yeah, I just got so ate up with this deer. I mean, he had my number. I seen him. I jumped him. I'm a big fan of that bump and hunt. So when I bumped him, I went to the first tree I could climb, and that's where I hunted him. And I seen him the very next day out of bow range. And let's just say that was a Wednesday. On that Saturday morning, I seen him. Every time in his head, all he had was a main beam left, and he was at 15 yards broadside, no care in the world. I'm like, I'm not shooting you now. Like, you're a 150-inch monster, and now you're just a 18-inch main beam, and then it was a bad spiral for me for a couple of years.
Whitetail hunting is weird.
This is a big buck, so that's kind of why like you guys think he'll be a 170, 180, 190. I don't know if he'll be that big, but it's very.
He's pretty big.
Huh? I can tell you right now, he is bigger than that one. And that one there is only scoring mid 160s.
Really?
Maybe low 160. So.
Huh.
Yeah, John, if you don't realize, like, I know elk's different than whitetail, but like Ryan's deer that he's been putting pictures, that is like a lifetime. That is a nice.
I showed you guys last month on my deer. It was a buck of a lifetime, and I don't even think he'll go 155 or but I don't think he'll even break that.
Right, like where I'm at, a 180 mule deer is like acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you see a 180, you should shoot it. But there's 200s, 220s that get killed around here every year. So, and just like I can't judge whitetails because I don't see them. So it's just always super interesting. And like how much.
I mean, some of the biggest whitetails, like if you get a 200-inch whitetail, man, like
you're getting phone calls.
Yeah, exactly. And like you shoot a 200-inch mule deer, and people are like, "Cool."
Yeah.
totally
You
different.
shoot a 200-inch whitetail, and fall obsession went from 10,000 to 25 or 30,000 followers overnight.
Yeah. Cabela's is
Easily.
calling, Outdoor Channel's calling, like
Ryan's not even gonna talk to us. When he answers his phone, he says, "You better say sir to me."
I tell you what, if I'd just be more humbled to get that deer, it'd mean a lot to me. I mean, I put the work in. You know what I mean? I just
Well, and that's the crazy part is like I think I posted this the other day. It's just like the sheer amount of effort and technology that you guys put into a whitetail hunt. Elk hunt, like I'd drive up the road, blast them from the bottom of the basin, hike up the hill, and if I get lucky, I get lucky. And that is about as much as anybody could do. Like,
Yeah.
But
No,
the fact
and
that
you're right
Ryan's
though,
like
because it got such a fast range that
oh yeah,
you got it
and like
fast.
if I spook an elk or whatever, it could be 3 miles away within an hour. Like, and then you guys have whitetails that are living within a couple hundred acres their entire life.
Yeah.
Like our elk do 80-mile migrations a year. They
I'll
go from
spook a
the
deer
top of that
walking
mountain
in.
range all the way down to the other side of that mountain range.
I'll,
It's ridiculous.
I'll spook a deer walking into my stand. Within an hour, it's coming back out. Same spot.
Yeah, no way. You bust an elk, go somewhere else. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean my buck I killed last year. I killed him October 29th, the first frost, or the year before last, on the first frost. And as soon as I posted a picture of him that I killed him, I think I had 30 messages in my Facebook, and somebody's like, "Where were you hunting and why are you there?"
Don't worry about it.
And I'm like, "Well," I said, "I go to the area I was hunting at." And they started sending me trail cam pictures where he was at like a mile and a half away from where I was at midnight that morning. I shot him at 8.
the only
That's
time
like-
you can do that
I had
anything around here is like the first 2 weeks of September with mule deer because they're packed into these big alpine basins and like they'll stay. They won't go real far. But after mid-September,
yeah.
no way.
Well, they say like the average travel radius of a whitetail is anywhere between 5 and 6 miles, 5 and 7 miles, somewhere in that range.
And that's probably like a 3 to 4-year-old. You start talking like a deer like Ryan's got. He's got a home range of. I bet you that deer cover. I bet that deer don't cover more than 30, 40 acres.
No, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
Oh, yeah.
Elaborate more
Yeah,
on what
far.
Lawson was saying. Like the fact that Ryan's even sharing this deer with us and not hoarding it to himself just shows the character and the kind of person that he is. Because
Right.
anybody else would be like, "No, I don't have anything on camera."
I ain't seen nothing,
Well,
man.
he's just showing
Exactly.
that because that's his, and don't even draw. You know what? Don't even look at it. When you
Right,
film
and
it,
that's
you're like,
the difference between I'm all public land. Like there's some private that I can hunt in places, but like 99% of my hunting is public land. If I were to drop that picture of that deer, somebody would figure out what sagebush he was standing behind and know within several hundred yards where he's at.
Oh,
Like
no
not
doubt.
a chance. But because he's on your private lease, you're like, look at this dude. I'm gonna go shoot him next weekend. I did that, not a chance. No way.
I get it. No, I it's totally different hunting tactics. Different.
It's so interesting just how different each one is.
Yeah. You just got to outsmart them. Like your elk just cover, like you said, the range is so vast where as bucks get older, I think I don't know. Let me ask you this. Do older elk continue to travel multiple miles or do they?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yep. Well, and part of it is seasonal migration, like where you're hunting them in September, like where my guy missed opening day last year. I was at 11,500 feet on the side of a mountain by fourth rifle. So that would be like the week before Thanksgiving. They're going to be 2 miles away across the road here. And that's 3,000, 4,000 foot elevation change in 20 miles. Like they have to. They can't live there at high altitude all year. So part of it's migration change, and their rut is different because like bulls will make a harem of cows, whereas whitetails and mule deer, they get a few does, they have their time, and then they move on. I've watched a white mule deer buck. I could see him like stick his nose in the air. It was just this really solid wind, stuck his nose up, and I knew he was on a hot doe. And I watched him cover a mile of this basin in like an hour and a half going after that doe.
I get it. No, I mean,
so different. It's so cool.
I've never elk hunted myself, so but like the bucks as they get older and get big like this, they they seclude themselves, and
mule deer do that too for sure.
They don't travel far, and like he was saying, maybe 30 acres, 40 acres this guy's covering, and that's where I started developing the tactic that the does are going to these big bucks. Like we're so ingrained that the bucks travel to these does, and they do that, but I think when you have a small core area, like 30 acres or something, that the does know where he's at. So they go to him so he don't expose himself. And they're right in his bedroom the whole time, because I started noticing every time I seen him, he was with all these does. I was like, he didn't leave his area because he came there and stayed right in that area for that whole like month and a half last year. Right. And all the does.
Do you see a lot of smaller bucks with him, or do they get run off?
I've seen one buck with him, and it's in the photo that I sent Sam. And Sam put it on the reel, I don't know, like a week or two ago. They were eating in this back food plot in the same stand, in the same spot that they come to. Otherwise, he's by himself. And this year, 90% of my bucks this year were by themselves. They did not bachelor up. There was one group of 3 that I have a picture of. There's another good 8-point. He's got a short brow tine and a long one, but they were the only 3 I seen together, and then the rest were all like by themselves. No bachelor. I don't know if that's because of the drought or what. It was really a weird year, but I was keeping tabs, and I was talking to a couple of the guys about it too. Like, had you ever seen that? There wasn't they weren't all like grouped up hanging out together. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Ryan. I don't think like a lot of people get, I mean, for lack of better words, a lot of people get a hard on for the rut. And I do not. I do not enjoy hunting the rut, because I feel like your pre-rut, you get a lot of running motion. You get a lot of like, your random deer, maybe your post-rut. But I feel like your rut time, those mature bucks, they lock up. The does go to them. They want to breed with Mac Daddy too,
Yeah.
How many deer do you think are on your property?
How many deer do I think are on my property?
Yeah, how many, like, are you talking, is there 100? Is there 50?
So I'll say this. In New York State, this is what they say, that there's about 20 to 25 deer per square mile. And I'm going to say it's hard to say, like, if you're just saying what deer come through there, it's a lot, because there's a throughway and they come over the fence. I've got them pictures jumping the I-90 coming into the property. Living there, I mean, in that radius, there's got to be I'm trying to put groups together. I'm trying to count, because I know where groups hang. They hang in these microclimates, but like at least 30 to maybe 50. And
what's the buck to doe ratio?
And it's an astronomically high number. So,
hey boys, I'm going to hop off here real quick.
Hey. So like buck to doe, obviously there's more doe, so but not a tremendous amount. I'm gonna say it's almost like it's not really 50-50. It's more like a 60-40. 60%. 60% does, 40% bucks. Like, because I've got small bucks, big bucks, medium bucks. I've got bucks that just come pass through there. I've got bucks that come from across the other guy's property. What it is it's a pinch point kind of. So I have a highway here and a highway here, and the property runs like long ways, right? And then there's another highway over here that they cross. I'm not going to say which road it is. And then they cross that road and they traverse our property, or they come over the I-90 right over the fencing. And literally I got a camera right on the fence, and every night there's deer jumping it coming off the throughway. So they're in the middle of the throughway lane, they're across the throughway on other properties. They're just cycling through. Like, it's nothing for me to get 100 photos a day from that property.
Interesting.
Like, they'll be in the little plots, the big plots, they'll be coming out of the corn. It's bananas. It's, it's just
That's wild.
you just have to figure out what you want to hunt. It's exceptional. This one property is exceptional. It's just, I think it's the ag. I really do. And the low pressure. Because the road behind us, you can't hunt across that side of the highway over there, and you can't hunt the other side of the throughway, because that's all posted. And then the farmer across the road on this, he has 180 and then another 50 of grapes, and you can't hunt that because he shut that down 10 years ago because somebody shot his house accidentally. So literally there's, the pressure's super low. So they kind of, maybe if the pressure was higher on them other areas, I'd even have more deer because they'd be forced to come over. I mean, if I just let you look at my phone and you just went through my Reveal app and it was just spinning deer, like, you'd be like, oh my God, them were from all like yesterday. Yeah. Like, it's astronomical.
I mean, I can go out before second, third, or fourth rifle and sit an hour and glass up dozens, if not many dozens of deer, but that's over 1,000 acres, 500 acres. Like,
right.
That's
like
wild.
I said, the ag, when you start hunting ag, whitetail are different. Elk don't really go to the ag, is kind of what I know. I mean,
not until late in the season.
Right. So like whitetail, they love ag. If you've got some thick thorn bush and some, whatever you got, mountain laurel, and you got some real thick areas, creek bottoms near a bunch of ag, why do you think like Iowa and Kansas and Illinois have all these giant bucks? Because that's all they have, is they have all this ag and all these creek bottoms and rolling hills. So
Interesting.
we're just I'm just lucky. I'm humbled. I'm blessed. And I do share that deer, and I know a lot of people see it. It's not just you guys. So a lot of people see it, and that's why we make sure everything's posted. We make sure everything is legit. We check everything. I don't want nobody just popping up over there like, hey.
You mean people actually read posted signs where you're at?
I don't know about that, but I don't think they're all colorblind.
Colorado, you don't have to have your private property marked, but you got to know where it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, New York, you got to have one every 600 feet.
I've walked property lines with my Onyx like this and been like, all right, the elk are this side of the line. You could shoot. Nope, he's back on that side of the line. Nope.
Interesting. A big thing too in New York, we've been having a lot of bear. Our bear population has skyrocketed. Every year, like there's a place down in Stockton. They got like the old. It's like it's a creek, but it's a swamp. They call it the K-Bob Swamp. And dude, guys pull giant bears out of this place too. It's like, man. And now I'm starting to get him on all my cameras, like in places that I'm like, whoa, I got bear down here, like by the ag field, by the over, like what is going on? It's not like, it intrigues me. I just like wildlife in general. But if I could tag that deer, it'll be a humbling experience. I know my dad passed away some years back, but he was after the buck that I got last year because he would always tell me that deer's got a rack. He's so big and his one ear doesn't stand up. And then I was like, all right, well, let me see what I can do. And then he passed away. And then the following year, well, 2 years, I ended up tagging that one on the wall. But so I'm just a humble person, man. I love hunting. It is my obsession. It really
Why we're all
is.
here.
You know,
14 minutes on this auction left, and I'm still winning.
on a better note, the company, so as you guys know, we started the company Rytac Hunt Systems, and we're in prototype phase now. And so I can kind of talk about some things, and been running some ads with the Hide Finder, and so things are going well right now. We've been looking at the ATA show, talking to some people over there. Hopefully we have the first 5 prototypes by Christmas. And then from there, we're gonna hopefully go to the ATA show and set some things up with some people there. We spoke with a guy named Eric, and I think the guy's name is Butch or something, from Morel Targets. And we were trying to get the gist of everything that happens at the ATA, because I had never been there. And
What's the ATA?
Archery Trade Association show. They have it in Indianapolis every year. So like all the big vendors and companies and everybody kind of flocks there, and like your distributors and big box stores. And when you have these, certain products, you can get linked up with people and get your stuff sold potentially, or get orders. And I think this year they're going to have a customer base on like the 10th of January, where public can come in and actually check things out. But we've been gaining traction. We've had a lot of people, huh?
I said, if you're only an hour from me, I expect a phone call.
Oh yeah, if we
You
get
said
to
Indianapolis, right?
yeah, if we
Yeah.
it will call you to come. You can come to the show with us if we book it. Yeah.
There you go.
So we have to.
I was trying to give, I don't know if Sam's still on here, but I was giving Sam a hard time. He had to come out to Indianapolis, I think it was last year, for something to do with work. So he was out here for work. And Todd had mentioned that he was in Indiana. And I was like, dude, he's an hour from me. Why didn't he call? So yeah, Indianapolis is just an hour straight highway away. So
yeah,
if you
sure.
if you do end up showing the product over there, give me a holler. I'd be more than happy to help out.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely. I appreciate that. We're supposed to have it by Christmas. As long as we have the first prototypes done, packaged, ready to sell, app done, everything a go. If I have that by Christmas, our goal is to if we're supposed to have it booked by the end of November, because you got to pay for your 10 by 10 spot. You got to pay for a couple other things to get set up. But that's our goal. We're gonna do this. We're already pushing the Black Friday pre-launch a little bit, just with some of the ads and stuff, and it's actually been really well. I've already got about 200 people that have left their name and phone number that want to buy the product. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's astronomical. Like, and it's great because the ads let you, it creates like leads, like a lead form, and then they contact you. You got their name, their phone number, everything.
Yep.
And I can just get back to them like, hey, this is so and so. You're interested in the product? You left us a message, and boom, boom, boom. So it's going to take off. It's just going to take some time to go in the right direction. But like I said, I got to make sure everything is kosher, that the apps are working fine. But the goal is to have it by Christmas. And like I said, we're just trying to change the game. And that's only because I lost me a good one a couple years ago. So I don't know if you guys ever lost a good one, but it really irked me. It was a 15 point.
Have you run this past like game agencies to get their opinion on it?
Yeah, man. So we ran it across the Ohio and New York and PA. And the thing is, even New York they were like kind of like, whoa, like New York was like, we want this. And I was actually shocked that the DEC Western Regional guy was like, this is a good thing. He was like, the dogs are getting overworked. We don't allow drones. And he's like, this technology, he's like, our laws are antiquated here in New York. So anything, we'll be catching up to those, but he's like, we can't stop you. He's like, you can sell whatever you want on the shelf, or on your website or whatever, we can't stop you from doing any of that. It's kind of like you can't bait deer here in New York. And I know you guys all have heard of the Khmer deer. Remember Khmer deer? Well, they still sell it on our shelves, Walmart's everywhere.
Right.
So
Interesting. But
yeah,
they wouldn't make it illegal for their
right.
regs.
No, they're not going to make it illegal. Certain states do have live tracking issues and certain things, but we're going to, I think once we got big enough, because I think the push on this is, I'm telling you, I think in the next 2 to 3 years that the company is going to be gigantic as long as everything goes right. We're trying to follow like the Tacticam model where, because you're going to have a subscription to the app and then you're going to have refill capsules and stuff. That's just automatic. So, and we're trying to price it fair enough to where I think everything will fall into place, knock on wood. But it all takes time. It's just we've ran it, everybody that I've ran it past was just like, that's a great idea.
Can you recycle the capsules, I guess?
You could if you could find it.
Right.
If you can dig it out of the game, you could. Otherwise, we're selling packs. So there will be GPS capsule packs that'll go back into your collar. So that's how that works. The collar stays with your shaft. You go ahead and shoot the animal, whatever you're shooting, your elk, whatever, bear, boar, deer. And then what'll happen is on impact is when it turns on. You'll have it linked to your app already via QR code. So you're going to have like 4 of them already linked in your quiver. So then you can just use them whenever. And then they turn on via impact. You go on, boom, 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 check your map. There it is. We even have a little feature. There's a sneak peek here. We're going to have a temperature gauge in it too to tell you that's firsthand knowledge right there. So it's going to be able to detect temperature. So in 10 minutes, if that body temperature starts to deviate down, you know that animal's probably expired or expiring. So there's a lot of cool features that I'm not going to share them all, but there's a huge use case for it. Weather, rain, your blood trail disappears. We've got some guys that have contacted us that say, hey, we have a disability. I'm colorblind. I can't track my animals. I can't find them. I can't. So it's very hard for me. So this is like a leg up for them. Plus there's a lot of guys that I think it'll help elderly people. A lot of guys say, hey, that deer might have ran that direction for 100 yards out of sight, but then like what happened to my buck last year, he curled up 700 yards the other direction. And if I knew that, I could have just walked a straight line that direction. But instead I had to wait and walk for 6 hours to try to find him because the blood trail disappeared, So we just want to help everybody do that. And I think it's going well.
It's cool.
Yeah, I think we're all excited to see it come to life. It's gonna be pretty sweet.
It's been a couple years in the process here. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just it's a lot to deal with because starting a new company myself, it was hard. I mean, we obtained some investors, some big investors came in and was like, we see the vision. Like, here's 10,000, here's whatever it was to add up to what we needed, and it happened quick. And then so we're going to go in phase 2 to raise some funds for like 20% of the company. We're going to try to raise like another 40K. We have a couple of outlets. We have other people, but we're opening that up. I actually been posting a little bit, because that 40K ultimately with the pre-launch sale. So when we do pre-launch like Black Friday, any cash that rolls in will be directly used for the back run, the manufacturing run, plus that 40K. And because we're trying to have a huge run, we don't want to be like as much as other companies have done. They're always out of stock. It comes out and then they're already out. We're trying not to fall into that because once you get that momentum behind you or your company, you want to keep your sales, full. You don't want to fall back and be like, oh my God, well, 6 more weeks now we got another 18,000 coming, or whatever. But it's difficult because I have to coordinate so many different attorneys, and like our patent attorneys in PA. We have an attorney overseas. We have an attorney here. We have our accountants. It's just it's a mess. It can be a mess. I should say it's not a mess, but when you're starting off small, trying to do the right thing. But we built the company as a corporation, like a big corporation, because I know it's going to scale. I mean, if you start looking at, even if you sold 10,000 units a year, which is nothing, we had to do a lot of research. Like there's 9.9 million archers. I'll spit a couple of facts for you. There's 9.9 million people just in the United States that participate in archery. So when you start a business, your goal is to hit 1%. You should be hitting 1%. That's your target market. So at 1%, you'd be doing like 99,000 units a year. If you hit that target, your projections for business, your business valuations are exponential. You're on the Tacticam side of things when you're starting to talk those types of numbers. It's a good thing. It's not like I'm doing it for money. Anybody that says they wouldn't do it for money to recoup some money, they've got something wrong with them, because you should be in business for two reasons. One is to make money and a livelihood for your family, but the other reason is because you're either passionate about it, want to use it yourself, or you believe in the product. And that should be the first thing, because I believe in the product. I want this on the end of my bow, and whatever comes along with it, fine. But it is what it is. Hopefully once it's here, I'd like to at least get Sam a kit, or Todd, because we're going to have like 5 kits. In the kit is like, I want to say 4 collars, a couple of capsules, the magnetic chargers, because these are rechargeable. These units are going to be, there's going to be
The capsules are rechargeable?
Yes. So the capsules are going to be rechargeable. And then like we want to do some testing and some videos for the website, on hogs and certain other things. That's, so people can say, hey, look at boom, boom, here, we're tracking it. This is what we're doing. So it's a lot, because we have companies building the app. We have companies building the actual hardware. We have companies doing packaging. So it's tiresome.
Right.
It was just a great idea. I was tired of seeing people, honestly, man. I see it every year. October 1, I'm going to see it. I need a tracking dog. Lost my animal.
Well, I don't do much archery hunting, but if you want to send one out here, I'll go run around the mountains and tell you how it works.
Yeah.
Tie it to the dog and take her for a walk and let her run around in the hills.
Well, what I was going to do is, try to get Sam maybe the kit, and then he could disperse the 3 or 4 units to people, or whatever we're going to do, and they can test it and make a video and stuff like that, because we want it for marketing. You know what I mean? That's the whole goal.
Do you see it staying only in archery, or plans maybe to expand that a little bit? Future?
So our company has a few innovative products that we want to release. This being the first, because it's such a game changer, that being an innovative product, like it changes the game. Every year, like, you spend thousands or hundreds of dollars to hunt, and you don't have that guarantee. And that's another thing that we played toward the DEC environmental. Like, hey, these guys pay for trips. They go here, they do this, they do that, food plots, tree stands, all their bow stuff. And even if you get the shot, there's no guarantee to recover the animal. I was like, we have a due diligence to do that. So they were like, we do understand that. So that's the first product there. We want to do a couple other things coming down, but we're going to really focus on this. And as long as this launch is great and everything starts to roll with the business, I'd probably say 2 to 3 years. That's when the next innovation would come out, because we already have, now that we have the prototype company that can do these things overseas, we can continue to work with them And then like if we know guys that have innovative ideas, like and we can work with them and open our like consulting company, we could do that and have their products made overseas through us, you know. It's just, yeah, I mean, I don't see us staying just in the archery. That's why it's RITEC Hunt Systems. It's even in the outdoor space, there's other things that we've had ideas, you know, but that's just me and the investors kind of talking amongst each other. But this individual idea was mine. And a lot of people have seen the vision like, hey, I know it's going to be good. Like there's so many people that could use it. He's over there. He's watching that game like, am I going to win? Am I going to win?
Nah, I just got outbid again. Damn it. Nope. No joy.
Yeah, hopefully we get to Indianapolis and then I'll just call Cass and he can come down and help market. Yeah, I actually think I'm gonna hop off of here. I've been talking for an hour.
Yeah, I got to bounce here pretty quick too. So
All right.
that was
I'll-
super interesting, guys. Love to
We'll
talk
with
about
you
it.
again.
Heck yeah. See you guys.
See you, man.